Hey guys, I wanted to do a little follow-up video like I said I'd do last week about this nose hardware on this camshaft. So anyways, let's start from the beginning. Right here is a stock camshaft. And if you notice on the front bearing, in the groove here, let me see if I can find it, right there. Do you see that hole right there coming off the edge of that bearing? Well, that hole feeds oil to that hole, and that oil oils out this gear and keeps oil on your cam sensor gear and this gear, the drive gear. Okay, so now fast forward, you got a roller cam, and this is a billet roller cam that I put in this car a few years back, and the only reason I'm having this video or making it for you is because I made some mistakes along the way, and I want to try to save you the trouble. Number one, if you have this type of nose hardware, they make a spacer to go behind this front drive gear, and this one here is made by TA Performance. It's all steel. There are some other vendors, and the very well-known vendors, that sell this spacer. It's made of aluminum. They could dispute my opinion, and this is just my opinion. I would not go with an aluminum spacer, and here's the reason. Keyways do not hold the assembly together. They just place them in the right order. So if you look at the front of this, one thing very important is you got to make sure the nose of the cam and the nose of the keyway is behind the gear, so that when you torque that washer down and bolt, which I think this gets torqued to 50 or 60 foot-pounds, which is quite a lot for that bolt, that it crushes this together. Because if it doesn't, and its nose sticks out even a little bit past the edge of this gear face, it will not get the proper crush, and you will roll that timing key over and possibly do major damage. And you can ask me how I know. Another thing is, you want to make sure the specs on this drive gear to the cam sensor gear are between 5 and 12 thousandths end play, and you add these washers to give you the end play against the timing cover. Well, it's been my experience that that's not enough end play. That cam does not care how far it walks. And the more it walks, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, the more chances you have to have enough clearance between this drive gear and your cam gear. So back to the stock cam. The stock cam had that oil groove to feed this gear. Guess what? You go with a roller cam, there's nothing that oils this gear. This gear is completely dry unless you make a modification. Other than oil splashing around that timing cover, there is no drilled hole in a billet cam to feed oil to this gear. Now there's a couple ways to get around it, and I haven't tried the way I'd like to do it because I'm not sure if I can get the hole drilled accurately. But what I did on my cover is I ran off the T for the turbo and put just an oil gauge line, and this is really Lee Thompson's idea, and then I just drilled the cover, and I have that smashed down in there. You can see it. It's dumping oil on that gear all the time. So that's what oils that gear. And again, ask me how I know. Here's what happens if your clearance is too tight, and Billy Anderson helped me with this. I'll I'll shout out to the guys that I reached out to. There's been a lot of help in the community to me. But I told Billy, I said, Billy, I got the clearance. They told me, I measured it, and it's 8,000. So it's right in the tolerance. He's like, well, Bob, I don't give a shit what it says. It's wearing your fucking gears out. So I think I got mine between 20 and 30 thousandths right now. But you can see what that drive gear looks like. And this is what a new one looks like. Okay? So you got to get oil to that. You got to get oil to that gear, and you got to get your clearance. And I stretch my clearance out to like 20, 30 thousandths, because like I said, I don't think that cam gives a shit about walking a little bit. Here's what happens to your cam sensor gear. And pretty soon your cam sensor's out of whack, because it doesn't take much, man, and it's out of whack. So, you know, do not use one of these. Keep your clearance between 20 and 30. Make sure your cam nose is behind the face of that gear so you get the proper crush at 60 foot-pounds. I sneak up on 60 personally. I'd run it around 40, then see how it feels. Go to 50, see how it feels. But I just want to save you guys some headaches if I can, and I thought while I was assembling this, it would be a good time to do it. So have fun building your Buicks. Hope to see you guys soon. Thanks a lot.